everybody again. So welcome to the R2C Yoga Club for high school students. So this is going to be short and sweet. I say that every time. Let's see if I can mean it. So the high school program, if you're here, you have a high school student, or you're just kind of shopping what the entire course program looks like. So I'm just going to touch base really quickly on the other two. Our 3rd to 5th grade program, really the core principles within that program is to teach the 3rd through 5th graders and teach them basically fundamental kind of language through fun learning and creative play, how to start to understand some of the things that they're experiencing. Again, from younger grades, we went from an external reality and voicing everything that we thought, and here in 3rd to 5th grade we start internalizing everything. So in 3rd to 5th grade we try and give them some ways to play with what they're experiencing and what they're internalizing. So as they then transition to middle school, 7th to 8th grade, they're still very internal beings and process a lot from their thought, their mental field, from what their brain activity is, right? All these internal dialogues that they're having daily. They process it internally, make decisions internally, and then act on that, right? So basically what happens here that's different from the elementary school is now they're using their friends and who they're connected to with their friends instead of their family as their main value system, and how they're choosing what to do, right? So as a family, we set the foundation and we really create these core belief systems and kind of tribal instincts right through how we're raised and what that foundation of the family looks like. And so that's where, as a family and a mom and a dad, we really hope that the kids take those lessons and the teachings and the morals that we instilled in them, so that when they are now in this middle school era, that they can make correct decisions, right, as the family sees fit for the individual. But as we all know, kids will sometimes kind of rely on those external factors, and that's what the big difference between elementary school and middle school is that the kids are now using their friends more as a barometer for how they want to be and what's being reflected, right, to them and through them in their reality. So now as we go to high school, we recognize that our kids have pretty much kind of taken and created a personality. We see that they've chosen sports. We see that they've chosen, books and study, or we see they've chosen music or theater, or however they're starting to express themselves. We really find that our kids have created and created this kind of self-identity, right? So it's not as if we're trying to do anything in this realm. We know that the kids have already kind of established who they are. We see this in the cliques that are created in high school. And so our biggest emphasis here in high school is to really create this collective energy and to let these girls know that they are now role models, right? So freshmen to lower class, and then sophomores are the role models to freshmen, and vice versa. Each grade, right? We see this kind of superiority from each grade level. And so we're trying to we will be creating this empowerment collective with what we do, showing how intertwined and interconnected everybody is, and how they're still all going through the same things and the same, all the emotional things are all the same through all the grades. And so we're really just going to bring this really beautiful collective quality and kind of take away some of the mystery between the levels, right? Because even in sports and these different things, yeah, there is some intermixing, but we still have kind of varsity where mostly seniors and JV and all this, right? So we still kind of have these structures that are in place. And so the goal here is to, again, create this unified collective where it's woman supporting woman here, and creating that. And so in this part, so the biggest part of our high school curriculum is that, again, Julie and I are both registered yoga teachers. We have a registered yoga school where we can certify individuals to become certified yoga teachers. So our our goal here is for anybody who wants it. You can do the program and not do certification, or you can do the program and do certification. There's no difference between what activities you participate in. It would just be more summer intensives to get more contact, which are one-on-one training hours with us through the summer workshops that we do. But one of the kind of biggest, we think, coolest goals here for these students is that some of the things, both running and managing a lot of high school kids and adults in a wellness spa industry, we see lots of college kids come in and get jobs and they just get burned out. And so the really cool emphasis we have here on this high school program is that our goal would be, if high school girls want to, that through the high school program and then some summer intensives for some really focused yoga teacher training work, these girls can come in and by the time they're done with us in high school, graduate with a yoga Alliance certificate to teach. And what that means is your girls could do weekend workshops for other schools and earn easy money and not have to do a very labor-intensive job where they're required to go in after their classes are done and do 4 hours at a job and then go back and do homework. And so our ultimate goal here is to give these girls who are graduating a certificate so that they can go to any yoga school, any yoga studio, or run their own programs, which there's a whole business emphasis on this as well. Julie and I are both come from very we're both business, have run businesses and have a very big business background. And so this is a big emphasis on creating the personal brand, the personal business for them, however they want to do it, whether they take this program and roll it out at a school around their college that they go to, or if they're not going to college, going to a technical school, or taking some time off, they can go travel Spain and teach yoga and make money and do trade. It's really cool. So our goal is to give them the tools and the intense training. So in high school, it's gonna be no thrills, no crafting, no fun playing activities. It's gonna be hardcore yoga. We're gonna make sure these girls' bodies are worked out in a really phenomenal way to where they're feeling amazing, to release a lot of this stress. Again, there's still internal creatures here, as every adult knows, right? Our whole world is basically lived internally. And so, geez, my lights. So we're giving them the tools through full physical yoga practice. We're going to be going over a lot of the anatomy to it so that they can understand why. So through the yoga practice, instead of bringing in a lot of the concepts that we're structuring throughout the lower grades, we're going to be bringing in a lot of the techniques, the techniques and anatomy, physiology that goes on, and the biology of the body, to understand exactly why everything's doing what it's doing and why this is so beneficial and good. And then after that, our really big focus for high school is going to be the mental aspect, right? So in high school, you all know, there's so much pressure put onto these young kids, and a lot of it's self-induced pressure, right? But they just take on so much. And so our goal will be to make sure that every class is ended with really phenomenal mind, which is meditation, but guided meditation and stress relief techniques. And this is something I'd say I'm a master at. I'm not a master of a lot of things, but I am a master at meditation and mindful practices. I've been doing this for a good majority of my life, and have hundreds of meditations that you can look at on the website, R2C Yoga. That's R2, the number 2, C is in cat, yoga.com. And you can go and explore some of those meditations for yourself, and a lot of those will be posted here on the parent forum. But it will be one of the biggest tools that we're going to give these high school girls is how to train their mental centers so that they're not carrying. So many of our kids nowadays are just carrying so much weight here And then what that does is it detaches them from the present reality of what's going on. And you see this all the time where you're having to snap them out, right? They're either zoned in on their electronics, right? Again, mental field, they're in this reality of mental constructs, or you're trying to talk to them, engage with them, and they're here and there's this disassociation. And so it's so heavy what's going on in their mental reality. And so the goal here is to the mind is something that is trainable, right? So we can train the brain to understand how to let go a lot of that and not lose control, right? So that's the fear when we let go of the mental field, that we're going to lose control. And these kids like to be in control of their environment, of their reality. And so that's why they hold so tightly onto everything that's up here. And so that's the main focus, the main goal here is to really work their body out, because that in itself is going to allow for this really de-stressed. I mean, there's so much science behind the physiology of the body and how just by moving and changing the body and releasing certain postures that we can actually affect not only the neurological, but the endocrine and the parasympathetic and all of these amazing things that go to making up, you know, how we function as this beautiful human being. And so, of course, inlaid in everything is this empowerment, but the goal here is really to create this collective of united girls within high school that can become certified yoga teachers as they leave, so that they have not only something for their resume, but also a tangible skill and a certification that they can go and take and make more. Average is $35 an hour, right? Depending, but at a yoga studio, and do that instead of schlepping somewhere and making minimum wage or whatever, you know, these college kids have to do to kind of secure some funds, or whether it's whatever the structure is that they're working for. So that would be one of the main emphasis and goals of the high school program, also to create this united collective of girls. Once they have a certain amount of contact hours with us, there will be paid opportunities for them before they graduate to help us in teaching the younger classes as well. And during summer programs, if they want to be assistants and teach, we'll be having some of the high school girls get hands-on practice with, of course, instructors present, but to have hands-on yoga teaching practice with our younger grades. So we just really have it set up that we're continuing to empower women through these kind of, I don't know if you can call it generations, but the years, right, as it goes down and up the scale, so that they're constantly working with each other and creating this just really beautiful symbiotic flow, one to the next, and empowering each other. And then we hope that these girls can take these programs to other schools as well when they're in college or doing whatever they do in job after school. and start to pass this on as well and empower even the kids that are underneath them. So that's kind of the main basis behind the high school program. Again, please email Julie or myself if you have any questions. We respond to the R2, the number 2C yoga@gmail.com. If you have any questions, want any of our curriculum or anything that we're doing, we're happy to share, and we'll answer any question that you have. And also on Facebook at Root to Crown, R2C Yoga on Facebook. We're going to be reposting a lot of these. We're going to be asking some questions to the parents to basically take here into this parent forum and be able to answer questions here. So anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out. We're just a social media outlet away. So have a great night. Thank you for tuning in.